I was terrible at setting goals for almost my entire life. That's why this topic is so painfully important for me. As I was turning 30 and analyzing the last decade, I recognized that the most things were going well. Of course, by far not everything. What I definitely understood is having midterm and long-term goals will make a lot of situations better, and it will open new doors and opportunities with almost no effort. The other thing I recognized that I wasn't setting any serious goals, mostly because of two concepts. I thought that goals would limit my opportunities, and I had an illusion that I have to look for that one lifetime goal, otherwise it's not worth to achieve. This mindset is a dangerous mistake, trust me. And now I'm sitting here and ready to share my experience, so you will be able to avoid my mistakes and set your goals properly. Before we start, I'm not revealing the hidden or ultimate truth to you. I want to tell you about techniques that worked for me and for people I know. It can work for you the same way, but you should also feel free to modify my advices for your personal circumstances. One of the most valuable thoughts I took away from analyzing the last years is how do I perceive and understand the term goal. In my opinion, the modern society is often misinterpreting the size, importance and social significance of the goals you are setting. We are bombarded with great stories of success on Instagram, epic fantasy tales on streaming services where the protagonists are chasing the goals of their life and giving everything to achieve them. At some point you might think, aren't goals exclusively for me and the subject size and significance could be whatever I wish? I've made this mistake in my early 20s. I've set goals that are too unrealistic and neglected almost everything else in my life because of this weird go big or become nothing mindset I had these days. I have not created a real strategy or chained my goals properly to really achieve something. At the end, this approach broke me in a way of losing willpower and belief for some time, and I also have missed a lot of opportunities and wasted my energy. Of course, not everything was for nothing. I've acquired valuable skills like programming, which helped me a lot later on. And the most important thing I've gained, mostly because I've learned something during this time, that I can learn everything with enough time, practice and commitment. So do you. You can learn everything if you want, know your direction and have a strategy. I'm suggesting to look at your goals like on directions or aspirations. They can be ambitious and it's actually a really good thing. But in order to achieve them, they have to be deconstructed into little steps and little goals, chained together into a strategy with milestones, reality checks and adjustments. Choose your direction and let it be the background music of your life. Don't treat your goals with too much importance. Don't overthink. Because soon that one goal will be replaced with another one and so on. There is no goal that will last forever. Don't let your goals become a burden or a mental barrier. Even the most ambitious goals will seem easily achievable when you break them down the right way. I want to think you about something. Most of the goals are not specific things or events. They are personality shifts. So actually, you want to become that kind of person who is able to achieve a certain goal. What really matters is doing. The small steps you make every day, skills you learn, people you share your time and knowledge with. All this will open the doors and opportunities for you, so you are able to follow the direction you want. Okay, when I say that the final goal itself does not matter that much, why should you care about it at all? I think you already know the answer. Without a clear direction, it's hard to guess your next step and keep awareness of opportunities that could actually contribute to the goal you're aspiring. It's always about context. One event, one person could be life-changing, but if you're not aware about it in a certain context of your direction, you will probably miss it while concentrating on other things. Remember this, depending on a context, You are able to perceive the same object or situation from 1,000 different perspectives. Another thing is that goals will bring more clarity and stability into your life. When you know what you want, there will be more stability and control and less anxiety and chaos. Because you will be able to concentrate your view and pick up things that actually contribute to your success. You also should keep an eye on chaining your goals, so you don't have only short-term goals and don't know what you have to do afterwards. But more on this later. Let's move on. Finally, that was a giant intro. I actually thought it would be a very short video. I have split the whole process of defining and setting goals in 4 simple steps. Step number 1 is choosing what's right for you. You may quickly ignite with new ideas or struggle to come up with anything that leads towards your dreams. The recipe is equal for all cases. You have to try, and not just once. You've probably heard about the 10,000 hours you have to invest to become really good at something. That's true, but to understand whether it's something for you or not may require a bit less time than 10,000 hours. One way is to create a little prototype of your goal. For example, 2 years ago I wanted to learn playing piano again, just for me. I've played it a bit as a child and 20 years later I knew nothing, so basically I had to start from scratch. My expectations about my skills were absolutely low. First of all, I've set a time frame. In the next 3 months I wanted to play a song I have chosen by myself. This was actually my little dream, to play what I want and not what some teacher tells me to play. So for 3 months I have played a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes every evening. If I wanted to train more, I did it. If not, I have just played 10 minutes. After 7 weeks, I've hit the first milestone, playing the complete song for the first time, but it was slow and I made some mistakes, of course. So I kept doing the same training with same time requirements of 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I've started to look around what I will play next. So at days when motivation was extremely low, I could train a new song for a little bit. One important note is I've concentrated on pushing this one first song to the end. 3 months later, I've played this song almost perfectly. The plan has worked. Consistency and the constant little feeling of success and enjoyment of what I was doing have played its role. In the end, I'm not playing piano every day anymore, but I enjoyed it. It gave me the feeling of fulfillment. I've actually done what I wanted. Without a plan, I will probably be disappointed after a few weeks and let the piano gather dust or sell it again. You have to try for a period of time to understand whether it's yours or not. My prototype was planned for 3 months. Yours could be whatever you wish. Also, there's no magic number. Please do it at least for 1 month. By suggesting you this strategy, I don't mean you have to try everything you come up with or the people around suggest you to do. But if something seems compelling and you feel, yeah, that could be really a thing for me, just give it a try. Even if it's not for you, you will definitely learn something valuable for your next approach. And the most important, you will stay in the state of doing and achieving something. Step number 2 is breaking down the abstraction. Most of the goals we tend to set are abstract. Let's take an example for this step: learning a language. It's a very abstract topic. What do you actually want to do with this skill? Of course, you might think, I want to be able to do everything. But do we want to use the new language at work? Do you want to watch movies in the original language or read some books? Are you traveling a lot to countries where the language could be helpful or even necessary? Let's imagine you want to watch a new Netflix series in its original language and fully understand it without a dictionary. You can even choose one specific series to start with. So it's not about learning a language in the first place, but about understanding a specific series you like. You understand? Drill down as far as possible until you have this measurable object you can track your progress on. To have even easier start towards your goal, you can define 3 things you can do literally right now to make a step towards your goal and start celebrating your success immediately. Step 3 is of course about consistency and a plan for a long game. This is where I always had the most problems. Being consistent and having a time frame or a deadline. Sounds pretty obvious, right? but the difficult part is to take it seriously and to understand its influence on self-perception. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't do the desired behavior regularly, in the end you will not be able to evaluate whether it's the right thing for you, and you probably will blame yourself for not achieving that one thing you always wanted. So make a plan. When and where do you want to do the desired activity? Define a time frame for keeping an eye on your results and progress to avoid the panic moments in December. And start today, not tomorrow or next week. You can also use whatever tool you want, a calendar, to-do lists, reminders, stickers. The key is to stay active and don't forget to track and celebrate your progress. Why I'm saying this, don't keep everything in your head. We live in a time of overstimulation and enormous information flow. You can't rely completely on your memory anymore. It's more effective and productive to track your goals and build your strategy somewhere with help of a medium of your choice. Another thing is planning for a long game. Don't be afraid to dream big. Adjust your levels so you always have new horizon to reach. If your final goal is too low and you have not thought about the next steps, you will have that motivation dip that is very dangerous and could break your plans. The final step is about reflecting and doing a reality check. Once in a while you have to do a review where you should evaluate your progress, make adjustments and check your final aspiration. It's not an audit. It doesn't have to be formal. Just give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to think about it. You can do a review, for example, with following questions. Have I made any progress towards my next milestone? If not, what do I have to change? Is this still what I wish, or it turns out to be something else? Make adjustments here, maybe set some new goals. Feel free to improvise and change directions. We are all changing along our way. Do not fear to change direction when you feel it. At this point, don't let the motivation fool you. If you are feeling that this aspiration is definitely for you, but starting to find excuses everywhere, stick to doing it for longer and try to swap the negative excuses with positive ones. Don't blame yourself for not doing something. It will get you nowhere. Work on the design of your life so you don't have the possibility to avoid your plans. Celebrate and thank yourself even for little progress. It's always a long game. These are the 4 steps. The final thing I want to talk about, also it's a topic for itself, is the amount of goals. There's actually no limit for goals you can set. And I'm quite against this claim about concentrating only on one goal next year. Of course, you should not explode with everything at once, so you can't even track it. I think 3 things in different parts of your life is a good number to start with. I mean, if you have problems with accomplishing even a single thing, don't worry, you're not alone here. You can still use the steps I've mentioned before to design a strategy for achieving multiple goals in a single year. Just lower the importance, forget the stupid made-up fears, and give it a try. If you're still there, thank you. In the next videos, I'll tell you how to stay consistent and how to keep the flow of goals, set new goals in the process of achieving another and keeping the balance. I wish you a great year. Forget the fears, social stereotypes and weird opinions. Do what you really want and keep being consistent. This is the way to create your own definition of success and happiness. Don't forget to celebrate. Today is the greatest day of your life. Today is day 0.